Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Niagara Business Development Group Successful Student Podcast Series, brought to you by Maria Rekrut and the Rekrut Publishing House. My name is Katelyn Hillman, and I'll be your host. Everyone wants to be successful, but how do you know when or where to start, and how long is it going to take you to get where you want to be? Today, we'll be speaking with Marc Guberti, teenage entrepreneur, author, and social media expert. Thank you for taking the time out to speak with me today.
My pleasure.
Why don't you start off by telling our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do?
All right, so I'm a teenager entrepreneur. I got started with a blog at 11 years old. It started out as a blog about the Boston Red Sox because, as a New Yorker, Red Sox fans are very hard to find. So this evolved into me developing a passion for blogging. I created multiple blogs, and that evolved into this big blog. I thought it was going to be the big one. I use social media to get more traffic to it. That's how I get the love for social media. And that love of social media has turned me into a social media expert with, I think, over 400,000 followers if you put all my social media accounts together. I've written several books. I've written over 1,000 blog posts. So it's been a really fun journey that all started with my passion.
Oh, wow. And then when you first started your blog, did you plan on it being so successful, or was it just kind of like a fun little hobby and then you just kind of went from there? Or?
It was just a fun little hobby, a way to connect with other Red Sox fans and write content that I enjoyed writing. So writing those bunch of blog posts, I was not thinking one day I'm going to be this person with a lot of social media followers. I was just thinking this is something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that I want to continue doing for a very long time.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. And then at what point were you like, okay, and then at what point did you really delve into the other stuff and all your other projects you have going on?
So I delved into the other projects when I started growing on social media. At this point, I have a blog completely dedicated to digital marketing, and I see a lot of people engaging with this content, expressing how much they like certain ideas that I mentioned. And at that point, I realized not only am I doing something that I enjoy, I'm also providing something that a lot of people want, and this could turn into a full-time income for me. So that ability to create impact, do what I love to do, and make the income, that's when I realized that I could go all the way with this, and that's when I pursued all these different projects.
Oh, well, that's super awesome. Yeah, because I've been on the internet for probably as long as I can remember, and I couldn't imagine just turning a nice little hobby into such a huge success like that. So that's awesome. Good for you. And then I know that a lot of people they want to get discovered overnight and successful as soon as possible. How long did it take you to get all your followers and everything?
It took me several years to get all my followers. I started as an 11-year-old now. I was not focused on Twitter and other social networks as I am now, but I did create my Twitter account in 2011. So thinking back now, I think it took me about 5 years. Yeah, 3 years maybe, or 4 to hit 100,000 Twitter followers. It took some time, but then it got easier and easier for the other 100,000 Twitter followers. So yes, it's going to take time. You're going to need to have patience. But once you hit your milestone, you're growing your audience, it just becomes easier and easier for you to get the same result.
Would you say that there are any steps that you took that were really effective and anything that was more helpful than anything else you've tried, or did it just kind of happen with your as you went along, or?
In terms of the Twitter and social media in general, I found it useful to figure out where my targeted audience hangs out. So who are the other influencers that they are following? And then I made it a point to follow those people who are following the influencers in my niche because they're interested in my content going in. And if they're likely to follow back, then that's going to help me grow my audience. So that's my tip for social media. But for anything that you're doing, rapid action is the key thing that you have to do. The world rewards rapid action. So the more action you take towards a goal, the more likely you are to hit it, earn that recognition you've been looking for, and then create the impact that you desire.
So you just want to kind of keep being persistent and keep trying at it, and eventually you'll get where you need to be?
That's all there is to it. I mean, there are different skill sets and techniques for each different niche, but it all comes back to those certain core mindset elements, and persistence is one of those key ones that you need to have in order to do anything that you're aiming to do.
And then what other advice besides persistence would you give to students that are looking to achieve success, but they might feel like they don't have the proper resources, or they're too busy with their student schedules, or anything else that they might be facing?
Well, my recommendation to those students is it doesn't matter how much you do, just make sure you're doing something every single day so that you know more about your niche, or you are in a better position today than you were when you woke up earlier on that same day. So just do a little bit every single day, and if you do something for 66 days, it becomes a habit. So then making progress, getting better than you were the day before, it becomes a habit. And then imagine doing that for a year or 2 years or 3 years, and you'll be hitting all of your goals in a really short amount of time.
Huh, yeah, because I know I'm a writer myself, and sometimes I get stuck, and then people are always like, oh, you should try to write a little something every day. And I know that, like you said, the day-to-day persistence has been incredibly helpful for that. So, yeah, I would definitely agree. You have to try what you're doing every single day. And then I know from experience that, like I said, writer's block always seems to hit me when I need ideas the most, and content creation can be hard in general. What are some of the ways that you help fight writer's block and create so much content?
So when I fight writer's block, it's not a matter of writing out content as I think of it. I think of all of the content in advance. So at any given moment, I will have anywhere from 5 to 10 pre-written outlines for a particular blog post that I want to write. So it's never like I'm going into writing stone cold. I always have a framework in front of me of what I have to write, and that just makes it easier. So instead of thinking, what do I have to write about, I think, how can I improve this content as I am writing it?
Oh, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea, because so then you're not like just stuck with no ideas, and that's actually a really good idea.
Right, the blank screen, that white blank screen when you open a new document, that is the worst. Yeah. Having that outline will just make it so much easier.
Yeah, I know that's very overwhelming. So I might actually want to start doing that too, because like you said, it's just, wow, blank screen is like, all right, staring back at you, all right, challenge accepted, screen, thanks.
And it doesn't take a lot of time to create an outline. Like, you don't have to go all into it. You just have to write down, like, if you're doing 3 tips to do X, then just write down those 3 tips. That's really all an outline is. It's not supposed to be something that you go deep into, you analyze every single aspect. It's something that does not take a large amount of time at all.
Yeah, it's helpful sometimes to just at least start thinking about it, get the ball rolling, even if you're not ready to write the whole thing yet. Just at least, get the ball rolling and then go from there. I found that to be easier most of the time, too. And then speaking of writing, you want to tell us a little bit about your books?
So I've written several books on Amazon, one of those books being Lead Stampede, where I give knowledge on how you can be the leader within your niche. I've also written a lot of books in the digital marketing and productivity spectrums, and these books, the purpose behind them, just like any of my other content, is to create an impact on others. And writing these books, I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about other people's journeys, so it's really great to be able to write these books and then offer them to the world.
What inspired you to want to start helping others through books instead of just on top of already doing your videos and your blog posts?
So as I wrote more blog posts, I thought it would be really awesome if I could hold one of these blog posts, like sort of like a book. Now, you could technically print out a blog post from your computer, but in my opinion, I've tried, it's not the same as actually a book. So at the beginning, I wanted to have a book, like the difference being, I'm still having the impact, but the difference being I could actually hold it. And that was something that I really wanted to do because, I've been doing all my stuff online at this point. It's technically intangible because, I can't hold videos or anything like that. So that's what I resorted to books for. I had a lot of fun writing my books. And then it just continued from there, writing book after book after book and creating a bigger impact.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like tangible things sometimes a lot, too. So that's kind of nice. And then for anybody that might be interested in writing or selling books, do you have any strategies that you would recommend, either for writing them or for marketing them books really well so that they can sell as much as they want to?
I'll give my best tip for writing and my best tip for selling. So my best tip for writing is create an extensive outline which basically gives you an idea of all the topics you want to discuss within the book. So even before the outline, just do a brain dump in which you have the title of your book or a proposed title and then a list of all the different things you want to discuss. That will make the writing a lot easier. And for getting sales, my best tip would be grow your email list. All of these successful authors have big email lists, and any entrepreneur with one of those, the 5 biggest regrets of my career type of blog posts, not starting an email list sooner will almost always be one of those top regrets.
Would you have any tips to give to people on how they can grow their email list?
So there are a lot of different ways to grow your email list. A lot of it comes down to how much traffic you are able to generate and the conversion rate. So there are 2 types of conversion rates. The conversion rate for your landing page, and for those of you who don't know, a landing page is simply a page with this free offer. We've all seen this before. Grab this free ebook. All you have to do is enter your email address. That's a landing page. So you want to drive a lot of traffic to that with social media, and that will help you get more subscribers because more people are visiting it. And the other type of conversion that I don't think people look at as much is the conversion rate for your blog as a whole. So I recently started using Thrive Leads, which is a WordPress plugin, and this plugin lets me display a welcome mat that greets all of my visitors with a call to action to enter their email address, and then I give them my free ebook, 27 Ways to Get More Retweets on Twitter.
That's actually really helpful because I'm actually, one of my projects I'm doing here at Niagara Business Development Group for my internship is I started up our blog for us, and it's kind of hard to get more followers. So I feel like if we did a call to action and stuff like that, that would actually be a good plugin to have.
Yes, it's definitely a great plugin to have. It's for all people who use WordPress.org. I do not fully know if the plug is able to integrate with any other option, but WordPress.org definitely.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely going to be helpful to keep in mind. Thank you for that tip, too. Before we wrap it up here, do you have any other advice or anything you would like to mention to our listeners?
So my advice, the main advice is just to start and just to put in the rapid action. You may be on the corner wondering if this is the right thing for me. The only way you're going to figure it out is to start. It is better to start and know that something did not work than to never start and then go on for the rest of your life never knowing if you made the right decision. So start and take rapid action in the goal you are pursuing, not just by putting in the work, but also learning a little bit each day and doing the work a little bit each day.
Oh yeah, because you never know until you try. So you have to
Exactly.
start somewhere. Better than sitting like 50 years down the road, oh, I wish I would have done this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have for today. And then unless you have anything to mention, on top of rapid action and that other nice advice you just offered us too?
Could I let people know where I am, for instance, like where they could find me on the web?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can promote yourself. Go ahead.
Awesome. So my website is marcguberti.com. That's M-A-R-C, and then Guberti is G-U-B-E-R-T-I. And the ebook that I am offering to anyone who wants it, it's totally free, 27 Ways to Get More Retweets on Twitter. Within this ebook, I go into detail about the methods I use to get over 100 retweets every single day.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely would advise our student listeners to definitely go check you out because I feel like you'd be very inspiring to them, and I feel like you've got something quite nice going on there. So I would definitely advise to go check Marc out. And all right, that's all we have for today. Thank you again, Marc, for speaking with me.
Thank you for having me on the show, Katelyn. It was a pleasure.